experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
Have you or your family actually seen a spook, specter, or ghost?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute.
Just pick up the phone and call the professionals.
Call the Ghostbusters. We're ready to believe you.
Franchises available soon. Call for details.
Where licensed games mostly range from meh to I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole, there are some welcome exceptions to the rule. Sadly, these good games are mostly overlooked and overshadowed by the bad reputations their peers earned them. Ghostbusters The Videogame is one of these hidden gems amongst licensed video games. Combining an original take on the third-person shooter gameplay and a script written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, it's so much better than the sad piece of drivel Activision tried to pass off as a Ghostbusters game last year. Sadly, nobody's ever played it. Something's definitely strange about that. Let's see who we can call. Ghostbusters The Videogame takes place 2 years after the events of Ghostbusters 2. You play as a new recruit just joining the team as a large PKE wave hits the city, and the ectoplasm hits the fan again. Before you know it, you're off to save a 5-star hotel from a bunch of dead people who refuse to check out. Or, that is, tear a 5-star hotel to shreds with your proton beam. Hoping to catch a few ghosts along the way, of course. I hope that bar mitzvah turned out okay.
The Alhambra Ballroom! The bar mitzvah! What have you done? The guests are arriving in 15 minutes!
What seems to be your problem? Thanks to me and my new exclusively assigned recruit here, the festivities can now proceed in an entirely ghost-free environment. So, you're welcome, huh?
During your search for the source of this supernatural shitshow, it soon turns out the ghost world is working its way into the real world. Could this be the work of Gozer? There was a Gozer exhibition at the museum after all. Luckily, Dr. Alyssa Selwyn offers to help you out on your quest. She could even be closer to the source than you might expect. Ghostbusters is basically a third-person shooter with a twist. Instead of pumping lead into wave after wave of soldiers or aliens or zombies, you mainly use your proton beam to weaken ghosts to catch them in your iconic ghost traps. When you get a ghost down to low health, you can catch them in your catch ray and then trap them. And this is where the fun really starts, because those buggers will do anything to get away, so you end up smashing them all around the place just to guide them to your trap.
See? That's a big wow. That'll teach that pitiful goop sack to slime Pete Venkman. And by extension, you.
Along the way, you'll be upgrading your proton pack with different kind of guns, like a stasis and shotgun combo to slow enemies, and you can also buy upgrades for these with the money you earn on missions and by collecting pieces of art. The upgrade system is pretty limited though, you'll only have a couple of upgrades for each weapon, so halfway through the game you'll probably have most of them. The pieces of art you collect during your missions will show up in the otherwise kind of useless Ghostbusters HQ. Since there's not much else to do there, you might as well turn it into a haunted hoarder's paradise, right? You know, that ectoplasm-stained rug really ties the room together, man. Causing damage will actually cost you, because you will receive a bill at the end of each mission. It didn't really seem to impact anything, but you better not try out what a proton beam does to a library. The gameplay is pretty straightforward. You explore the level, use your PKE meter to scan for ghosts or collectibles, and then you work your way through the occult obstacle course the ghosts create for you. There's no forced on-rail sections, there's no QTEs, there's no pressing F to pay respect. Besides scanning with your PKE meter, you just focus on what you do best. Break stuff. Where other games shoehorn in these minigames to make it feel more cinematic, Ghostbusters manages to be as cinematic as all these other games combined, and even more so. This is also because the script was written by the OGs, original Ghostbusters, Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, and the voice acting was also done by the original actors. This is as close to a sequel to Ghostbusters 2 as you can get.
For answers, the Grey Lady.
Let's get her for real this time. Well, what about the museum? It's been there for 104 years. Where's it going to go today?
This thing you guys have for the Grey Lady borders on the weird. You know that, right?
She made us look like schmucks. Not this time.
The graphics have a slight cartoony feel to them, which mostly fits perfectly with the game's tone, but it can feel a bit inconsistent sometimes, when stuff like your proton pack looks really shiny and detailed, while the faces look like they're drawn by one of those old guys in the park who draws your character for some of his beer money. Each level has its own unique enemies, like the construction workers on the streets or the well-endowed Viking women at the opera house, which gives the levels a bit of personality. But in the end there's not a whole lot of strategy involved. You either shoot it or you trap it. And a game with this much fan service wouldn't be complete without some old friends, or should I say fiends, also showing up. Of course there's Slimer, but there's also the Grey Lady. It's the first ghost the guys ever had to bust. And it won't take long before you're blasting your way through Times Square with Marshmallow Man hot on your heels. Overall the game isn't too hard, but there are a couple of really weird difficulty spikes. There's a revive system which can be a real double-edged sword at best, especially during boss battles, when you end up reviving your teammates over and over again, but when you take a couple of hits yourself they're nowhere to be seen. Apart from those moments, I had to reload a couple of checkpoints and I even missed an entire cutscene because the game loaded up at the start of the mission while I saved back at Ghostbusters HQ. Yeah, it's mostly harmless stuff, but it happened a bit too much not to mention it. Whether you're one of the many people left disappointed with the whole Ghostbusters reboot they did last year, or you're just looking for a third-person shooter with a twist, Ghostbusters is a great way to spend a nostalgia-filled weekend. It's not too long, it has some really weird issues, but the original gameplay, great script and the cast of original actors really make Ghostbusters a hidden gem among movie tie-ins.
Security! Remove these men with excessive force.
Hey guys, Neil here. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me all the way till the end. You're awesome! If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Hope to see you next time. Peace!